NetherRealm games have all kinds of fighters: pyromancers, cryomancers, sorcerers, and even celebrities. But then there's that one very special fighter who uses her fists and then beats you down the good old-fashioned way. So today, let's celebrate the best hand-to-hand fighter that NetherRealm has ever made. But first, a quick word from our sponsor. You know what you need? A wallet strong enough for a samurai sword. Today's video is sponsored by Ridge Wallet. And we're back, and as you can see, I can't even tell where I landed, but you saw the video. I definitely made contact, but I can't figure out where the sword even hit it. These things are very, very durable. In fact, they actually come with a lifetime guarantee, so this thing may outlive you. And if for whatever reason you don't love it, Ridge Wallet offers a money-back guarantee. But trust me, you're not going to want to give this bad boy back. It feels amazing in your pocket, which is a nice change of pace to the usual bulky fat wallets. However, despite their slim design, they do still carry up to 12 cards. And this design right here is burnt titanium, but Ridge Wallets actually come in over 30 different colors. And even if I haven't convinced you, even after everything I've said, you can also check out their 40,000 plus reviews on the website. And to make this deal even better, they're offering you 10% off as long as you go to ridge.com/trueunderdog and use promo code TrueUnderdog. The link is also in the video description down below, so what are you waiting for? Get yourself an attractive Ridge Wallet today. How's it going, everyone? My name is True Underdog, and today I'm here to tell you about one of my favorite characters in fighting game history. And that's no exaggeration, this is by far my favorite NetherRealm character to play, and when it comes to every fighting game in existence, she's definitely in my top 10. And that's because this character has everything I enjoy about fighting games. She's aggressive, she has combos, she has mix-ups, all that amazing stuff. And for the cherry on top, she even has some KD parries, which of course are oh so satisfying when you make a good read. So without any further ado, please allow me to go into detail about why I love this character and why I think she is the best hand-to-hand fighter that NetherRealm has ever created. So to start things off, we have the 50/50s. Inner Strength has a low on the second hit, and for Team 7, that second hit is an overhead. And since the first attack is a mid, you have to block it no matter what, and it's Mix-Up City. However, those of you that are a bit more perceptive may have noticed how the low attack comes out a lot faster than the overhead, so I bet you're thinking you can fuzzy guard this. Meaning after that first hit, you can block low immediately to cover the low, and then block high immediately after and block the overhead. It covers both of your bases. And if this was any other character, you'd be completely right, but check this out. I can delay the follow-ups by holding up after the initial hit. I can do a very late overhead, or I can do a very delayed low. Or in other words, this is a true 50/50. There's no way around it. You have to guess if the Black Canary player knows what they're doing. And that's a scary thought, because no matter which mix-up hits you, Black Canary gets a lot of damage. This girl has a bunch of ways to extend combos. And honestly, even the shorter combos can still do some beefy damage. And even after you land that 50/50, the mix-ups do not stop, because while Soaring Knee does extend combos, you can always delay your landing attack a bit longer than normal, and now it's no longer a combo, it's a reset. Let me go ahead and show you what I mean. So if I time things correctly, this is a true combo, and it does some decent damage. However, this time I'm going to delay my landing attack, and check this out. Look at that, it reset the combo counter, or in other words, the opponent now had to block a second mix-up. So for a quick example, let's say I'm fighting a Starfire player who just hates to block low. Every single time I keep catching her with this low option. That's a problem, because I'm gonna delay things, and now it's a second low, now it's a third low, and look at that, she's already lost 75% of her health bar. That's how strong this mix-up can be after you land Soaring Knee. However, here's the good news. Both the overhead and the low are completely punishable on block, or so it may seem at first, but unfortunately Black Canary does have several ways to keep herself safe. And in fact, one of them is actually a mix-up itself, the front handspring into the crazy legs. This is -8, but with all this pushback, nobody can actually punish it. So even if you did block Black Canary's mix-up, she can always just cancel into this and then press down to keep herself safe. And this move actually has a bunch of different options. She doesn't have to do the low. And what that meant was the Black Canary player could actually dial in the whole thing, the string and the special move, and if it landed, they could just let the entire thing rock. If they wanted a bit more damage, they could hold up to get a more damaging ender, and then of course if you blocked it, they can just press down and get the safe low option. So on top of having a legit 50-50, Black Canary could also keep herself safe every single time. However, even so, this move does kind of reset the neutral and put Black Canary at minus, so even though you can't punish her, she is off of you, so it's kind of a blessing in disguise. And while there is technically a gap before this low option comes out, the player could just do the up option instead, and that would catch any reversal you went for. And that one option alone was usually enough to stop your opponent from trying to interrupt you. And since we're already talking about front handspring, let's go into a bit more detail about this move, because it was also a very good mix-up on hit. And that's because certain strings like No Turning Back and Birds of Prey had amazing hit advantage, especially when you canceled into front handspring. However, oddly enough, it looks like I can't use Birds of Prey to cross up on bigger characters like Starfire. I did not know that. So I guess for now, we'll stick with No Turning Back because I did choose Starfire for some eye candy during this video. Now, if you land No Turning Back and then cancel into the front handspring, it is completely safe. You can block long before the opponent can do anything. And then on top of that, a lot of players were not expecting the cross up, and keep in mind this game does not have a block button like Mortal Kombat. You have to press back to block, so when you cross up and the opponent's not expecting it, you just get a free combo starter all over again. So take for example a situation like this. By the time this combo's over, Starfire is going to lose half her health, so that shows you how strong this mix-up can be, especially online with a bit of lag, or maybe the opponent's just not ready for the cross-up. Any number of things can happen. And against smaller characters, this exact same setup would also work for Birds of Prey. And just to rub salt on the wound, this move could also be used to trick your opponent's wake up as well. Look at that, Starfire attacked in the completely wrong direction, giving me more than enough time to move in and punish her for a full combo. And that's a big deal in this game because a lot of wake ups could be safe if you spent the bar on them. But against Black Canary, that means nothing because your attack completely missed. And Black Canary also had a back handspring as well. It wasn't as common, but it did still have a purpose. If the opponent did ever interrupt you when you went for the cross up on block, you could trick them by doing the back handspring instead. And if the opponent didn't go for a far-reaching normal, they would miss completely and you get off scot-free. And in fact, even if they did try to punish you, you can just hold the button down, and look at that, Black Canary just comes flying back in with a vengeance. And even if they jump, you have the up option, and it's pretty much an anti-air. And then last but not least, both versions had the option to meter burn, which gave you an overhead, which is technically a mix-up because you have the low, but if you spin the bar, then you have the overhead. However, since the low option was already safe on block, there wasn't much of a reason to ever go for the meter burn move. However, even so, the meter burn version does launch the opponent to start off combo, so just keep that in mind if you ever do want to use it. And then before we move on, there's one more mix-up I want to talk about, and that's the Canary drop. This move could also be done from the air and has two different versions, a close version and a regular version. And because this move hits overhead, it actually made for a decent mix-up because soaring high hits low on the second hit. So by default, it's low-low, both Canary drop, it's now a low overhead. And just to make this mix-up even better, it combos on regular hit anyway, so if it's blocked, it's a 50-50, but if the first hit lands, you still get a combo either way. However, with that said, this move was very, very punishable on block. Not only is it minus 11, but look how close you're left to the opponent. They can punish you with pretty much anything, and you have to eat that. So while it is a good mix-up after lows, and even after jump-ins for a double overhead, it is very, very unsafe on block, so high risk and high reward, which is honestly pretty fair for Black Canary. And of course, you can't make Black Canary a playable character and not include her Canary cry. This is by far one of the most iconic things about her character from the comic books. And trust me when I tell you, NetherRealm did not pull any punches, because this scream is just as powerful in this game as it is in the comics. As you can see on the bottom of the screen, the Canary cry will build in the background regardless of what you do. And the longer you allow it to charge, the better it becomes for combos. So let's go ahead and walk through every single level. So at level 1, it's actually plus on block, which is something that no other version of the scream has. However, at the same time, the level 1 version is a high attack, which means if the opponent expects it, they can duck under it and then punish you for a full combo. And then for level 2 of the Canary cry, you actually get a free combo extender, which is awesome because even if you're out of meter, you still have one more way to extend your combos, and the spacing is perfect for a jumping kick. And if you want my personal opinion, I actually do prefer the level 2 Canary cry for this very reason. It leaves the opponent standing, and it's also a bit easier to combo after in most situations. However, even so, the level 3 is definitely the stuff of nightmares. Check this out, full screen, wall bounce, crumples the opponent, and does a lot of damage. And like I mentioned earlier, it can be a bit tougher to combo after this because you do have to dash in and then jump and time things correctly, otherwise you can drop the combo. However, even so, the level 3 Canary Cry is superior because its reaction on airborne opponents is the exact same as its reaction on grounded opponents. Or in other words, no matter how long your combo is before you do the level 3 Canary Cry, it's gonna extend the combo in the exact same way, which of course can lead to some pretty crazy combos that do a scary amount of damage. And if all of that wasn't crazy enough, the level 3 Canary Cry is also full screen. And while this move might not cancel out the opponent's projectiles, it is a great way to interrupt them before they're actually thrown. And that's a big deal for this character because outside of level 3 Canary Cry, she does not have any projectiles. So when you're fighting a really strong keep away character, having level 3 Canary Cry can be a very good option from far away. And it's worth mentioning that all 3 levels of Canary Cry can also be cancelled if you press the down button twice. However, this does lower your Canary Cry an entire level, and against an opponent with quick reactions, they could interrupt you every single time, which is why at high level you didn't see very much cancelling of the Canary Cry, but keep in mind it was an option. And here's perhaps the craziest thing about this character: you can use all 3 of these combo extenders in the same combo. And of course this leads to ridiculous damage, so if your opponent doesn't have access to their combo breaker, they're in for a world of hurt. As you can see, that's almost 50% damage, and that was not the optimal combo with this character, but it was still only 2 bars and almost 50%. And you all know that I love combos, so perhaps now you're understanding why this is one of my favorite characters in any fighting game. And then finally we have the Katy Parries. Once again, Black Canary is a hand-to-hand martial arts expert, so of course she knows how to take your attacks and then turn them against you. So first up we have the high parry. This will lose to lows and jump ins, but beats everything else. And then if you want to spin the bar, she can even use this parry to extend combos as well. So not only is this character scary when she's attacking you, but even on defense she can really make your health bar hurt. But then we have the low combo, which starts off combos all by itself, and of course you can still spin the bar afterwards if you want to. So when you nail a low parry in this game, it is one of the most satisfying feelings in all of Injustice 2. As you can see everyone, I was not joking when I said Black Canary is the best hand-to-hand fighter that NetherRealm has ever made. Now with that said, she did struggle against certain keep away characters, because even though her front handspring was immune to some projectiles, it would still lose the projectiles that stayed on screen for a long time, and on top of that there are also keep away tools that don't count as projectiles, so the front handspring is not immune to them. So against the really good keep away characters, Black Canary did struggle a bit, but when it came to up close and personal combat, there was no better character on the roster. That's about it for the video everyone. I hope you enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoy playing this character. If so, then please leave a like down below, it really does help the channel out a ton. And then make sure to finish that combo by suplexing that subscribe button, that way you never miss a future video. Make sure to come back next time, and as always, stay underdogs.